Hello everybody, just a really quick video. Today I managed to remove, I had some fungus inside my Nikon HP finder, and I couldn't find, I searched and searched on Google and couldn't find any guides on how to kind of get into this prism and clear out the fungus, because it was, I cleaned the glass here, and I cleaned the glass here, but it was basically on the other side of this glass, and I'd taken off the taken this off, and it wasn't anything to do with that. So I needed to get the top of the prism off and hope that I wouldn't ruin my prism on my Nikon F3's HP finder in the process. So after lots of searching, I eventually did find some photos on FLICKR of somebody who'd done this, and that kind of gave me the confidence to give it a go. And so I've just successfully done it and put it all back together. I wish I'd actually made a video of it, but what I'll do is I'll quickly kind of talk through the steps, and at the end I'll include some photos that I took along the way as I was taking this prism apart and then kind of putting it back together. So the first thing you have to do is use a screwdriver to take out 4 screws. So you've got one here, and then you've got 2 on the other side, one here and one here. You take those off. They seem to be magnetized, so I was able to carefully kind of put them in a pot and come to them later when I need to put the prism back together again. You then have these like rubber sort of gasket bits on either side, and you have to take this rubber off. There's one on each side. That was actually the kind of trickiest bit, because this rubber, you know, it's getting on a bit now. It's probably 20 years old. I don't want to tear it. It's a very thin piece of rubber, and I had to just kind of really take my time. And what I did is I used a very thin screwdriver, if you can see, like this, and I basically sort of pushed very gently under and worked my way across, and kind of removed all the old glue that was under there on both sides. And once it started to go at one end, I could kind of just gradually ease this off. But you'll sort of see in the photos how it looks with this off, and kind of where the glue's kind of stuck it down. But you just have to be really patient with that. And that's probably the trickiest part of getting into this prism, is getting this rubber off very carefully by gradually kind of pushing under it with a very thin, like a needle or very thin screwdriver like this, and working round and just gradually until it'll come off. Now one side, this side, completely came off, and this side came off all the way up to this point here, at which point this the rubber on this side is actually attached to this surface here, so it kind of hung on by one corner. But that was fine as long as it was completely removed apart from that corner, and this side came completely off, and I've got the 4 screws out. At that point it was a bit stiff, but I gradually managed to kind of just wiggle it and get this center piece off. And I did a little bit on this side and then turn it around, tiny little bit more on this side, and just keep going until eventually I could kind of have a bit of a gap at the front here, and I could kind of put my nail in to the gap that was kind of appearing here, just above the nameplate. I could kind of ease this off. Once I got that off, then essentially what you have to do, and you'll see it in the pictures at the end, is you have to remove this section. And there's 2 screws. There's one here and one here, and you'll see it in the pictures. And then you unscrew that, and this whole bit comes off, and you then don't want to touch the rest of the finder, basically. So the screws are kind of actually, with the top off, the screws are here and here. And this little section comes off, and then I could get to the glass that's makes up that part of the prism. And then it was just a case of, I used some rubbing alcohol. This is 70%, and I used some cotton buds, and I just gave it a clean on both sides, but I could see the sort of spot of fungus behind this glass, and it's a little bit in the corners. I didn't quite got most of it. I think it was more just maybe I smeared it a bit, but there was a big piece right in the middle that was kind of you could, even with the finder to your eye, it was kind of in the way. So cleaning that center piece of fungus out was quite rewarding once I'd done it and got it all back together again. Because these finders aren't cheap, and I don't want to have to buy another one. So yeah, so that was kind of it. And then you put the 2 screws back in. And put the prism back on, and then you very carefully put the rubber back in. And then what I did is I just had, and I don't know if it's the right stuff, but I kind of just used some like modelling cement that I had from an Airfix kit, and I just, and again you'll see in the photos, but I basically put a drop under the rubber here, and under the rubber here, and under the rubber here, and here, and kind of pushed it all down, and it seems absolutely fine now. So I didn't see any video guides, and I thought I'd make a quick kind of talk on this with the pictures, and hopefully between this video and the pictures you'll feel kind of confident to give it a go as well if you've got some kind of internal fungus on your prism that you want to clean. Okay, thank you very much. If you're liking, share and like these videos, and I'll make some more. Thank you very much.